Hey guys, it's Luca from Learning MTG, and today I'm going to go over another video on Tyvar Rona. Recently there was a deck list posted 5-0 to League, and looked really good, and honestly, after playing a League with it, I think this is definitely an upgrade over the previous list. Let me pull it up here. So it was XX Martin BXX. A lot of innovations here. We have Plaza of Heroes, which just seems like a really good idea if you're doing anything involving like lots of legends in your deck. Um, Probably doesn't work in like the Fatal Push Thoughtseize version of the deck, but I'm pretty sure this is the better version of the deck. Also, Relic of Legends is really cool. Um, Mainly just it's kind of like a 3 mana permanent that gives you 2 mana of any color, because you usually have like a Skrelv or a Keenan or a Rona in play. And so not only does this tap for 1 mana itself, but you can tap another creature for an extra mana. For some reason, Keenan... Yeah, so since this is like an activated ability and you're not tapping it for mana, the activated ability when you have Keenan in play sadly only gives you 1 mana, but it's still definitely good enough. There's also a lot of like 1 mana spells in this deck, so you can do things like 3 mana Relic of Legends Skrelv, Relic of Legends Oath of Nissa, which is obviously very mana efficient play. The other big thing that's going on in this deck is Atraxa. And I was like, what? But actually, after playing the deck, it's really not that hard to cast Atraxa. You're playing 4 copies of Keenan. So, I mean, if you have a Keenan in play, an Elf, a Mox Amber, you're already getting really close to Atraxa. There's also lots of games to get Gigantha in play. And then the Relic of Legends at times gives you 3 mana or more. It can give you even 4 or 5 mana if you have Keenan in play. So you can really cast as Atraxa, and Atraxa is really good in this deck because you have Enchantment, you have Artifact, you have Instant. The only thing you don't really have is Sorcery. You have Planeswalker, Creature, Land. Really good. The lands are also very different in this deck. Playing Razorverge Thicket, Botanical Sanctum, and Mana Confluence, and then Murex. I believe Murex is in the deck really as just a 4-color land, because you're playing 4 colors. Obviously a super powerful card in its own right. Being able to just pay 3 tap, make a 1/1 is really powerful, although it's not really abused well in this deck. You can't really make good use of the 1/1 token. But that being said, this may be correct. I'm not completely sold on it, but it really is just like your 9th and 10th black sources for Tyvar, while also being like, probably I'd imagine it's like, your 13th and 14th white source turn 1 for Skrelv. It's a little awkward. You can't do things like turn 1 Skrelv into turn 2 Keenan. But I think that's like one of the only situations where it really hurts you. One of the issues I would probably cut this layer of the Hydra for a forest, because someone Boseju'd me and I had nothing to find. And also, I think Field of Ruin you're less worried about because you're kind of hoping to win the game before Field of Ruin comes live, but I do think there is some advantage to cutting this for a forest. Obviously the layer has some good utility, maybe if you go infinite mana and you don't have anything to do with it, but that seems like so unlikely. It seems like it's more likely you'll get into situations where you really want a basic land to find if they Boseiju you or if they Field of Ruin you. But otherwise, a lot of the same stuff going on here. I guess for Oath of Nissa is a change. Oath of Nissa is free if you have Rona Relic of Legends, which is cool. And I guess, I don't know, I also played an Oath of Nissa today that whiffed, so I'm not completely sold on Oath of Nissa. But it also color fixes for Tyvar, which is nice. If you have Oath of Nissa in play, you don't need the black mana for Tyvar. And if you are in a situation where you have infinite mana but you don't have a way to win the game, which I think would be very rare, you can just every green mana, you can Oath of Nissa that you have. If you have Retraction Helix targeting Rona, you just bounce Oath of Nissa, play it, bounce it, play it. In the sideboard, we have some really interesting choices as well. Portal to Phyrexia. Never seen this in a current sideboard. Really, it's really good. I think the reason why it never saw play in mono green is because in mono green, if you have more than 9 mana, you just get the chain veil, right? And you just win the game there. But in this deck, you can't really get the chain veil. It doesn't really do much. So this is probably the best thing you can do if you want to, have like a huge haymaker when you have a lot of mana. It's not that hard to get 9 mana in this deck. I guess the other option would be the 8 mana 8/8 that kills something when you cast it. But I think Portal of Phyrexia is better, actually. Let's see, what else is different here? There's a Mightstone and Weakstone that was pretty sweet for me. Killed a Shield Druid, killed some other stuff. I think these are kind of obvious. Paradox Engine, Aetherflux Reservoir, you always have those. Stonebrain is obvious. Arcane Proxy, I did not think of this. So this is a way to flashback Retraction Helix if it's in your graveyard. This came up in one of the games for me. Bankbuster, yeah, it seems like a good kind of card. I'm not totally sold on it, but it's definitely like, there's a lot of games where you just want to kind of switch gears and you just want to play a value game. In those games, you grab Ezekiel's Chariot, you grab Mightstone and Weakstone. I guess there's no Sky Sovereign here either. That's interesting. But this might be another good one to find. Although I don't know. I played against also in my last league. I played against Lotus Field and I was really missing Damping Sphere. So I wouldn't be surprised if you want to cut some of these for. And also I'm kind of missing Pithing Needle. So you may want to cut some of these for Pithing Needle Damping Sphere. That's kind of the classic thing you have against Lotus Field. And it just makes that matchup so much easier. Although I did beat Lotus Field without Damping Sphere, which is interesting. But yeah, so let's just get to the games. I'll try to go through these games as quickly as possible so that the video doesn't take forever, right? Okay. Also of note, this deck is not playing Dig Through Time or anything like that, so you get to play Gigantha. Okay, so I have a turn 1 Elf. I have this Oath of Nissa to hopefully find something. I believe I'm playing against Black-Red here. They play turn 1 Fatal Push, which is really what I want them to do that. I can play Oath of Nissa, find Rona, and then I can play Llanowar Elf and pass the turn. It's very likely that you're going to have an answer for this Rona, so they stop my Elf, and now I'm just so far ahead because they either have to spend the turn killing Rona or they have to make me discard my Karn, and once I get Karn into play, it's just GG. Find Ezekiel's Chariot. My opponent is very far behind here. So that's kind of like a common thing you do with this type of deck is you force them to kill your early drops. They don't get to put anything to the board, and then you can just Karn into on an empty board, which is usually enough to win the game. So here I find the Mightstone and Weakstone. Plaza of Heroes shows like how strong it is in this deck because it taps for any mana. Also, it's an untapped mana source later in the game. And also it has some utility later in the game. Put in place Bonecrusher Giant. The game is just pretty much over here. The rest is kind of formality. Play Keenan, play Ezekiel's Chariot, +1 on my Mightstone and Weakstone. Attack. Opponent's down to 13. And now I have enough mana to get Portal to Phyrexia should I choose. Place 2 Bankbusters into my Karn. Karn, in my opinion, is one of the strongest cards in Pioneer. So it's always a good thing if you can afford to put it into your deck. Or if it works in some way. Okay, please go for the throw. I just give my guy Hexproof Indestructible. So that was game 1. So I really did well against Black-Red, which is a good thing you want to see in this format because Black-Red is quite common. Although I feel like it should be dying out soon. I think there's so many good cards from the latest set that shifted the metagame. I don't think people should really be playing Black-Red, or there should be, I don't know, some evolution to Black-Red at the very least. Okay, this hand's good. Opponent leads on Den of the Bugbear. My hand's really good. Play Oath of Nissa turn 1. Find Atraxa. I guess if you're playing less Llanowar Elves in your deck, so this deck's only playing 4, then you have more room for something like an Oath of Nissa turn 1. Although you are also playing 4 Skrelv, which you want to play turn 1. So here I play the Mox Hammer first, so I can Keenan Rona, and they can't respond to this. I believe he stomps my Keenan here. No, braids Rona, okay. Plays Fable. I'm getting very close to enough mana for this Atraxa. I also have enough mana up to protect it with Plaza of Heroes. So I Plaza Heroes the Fatal Push. Maybe he didn't realize that I could do that. Or maybe he wanted to force me to do that. So he plays Shieldred here, but that's really not going to do much against Atraxa. Draw another Atraxa. So play Atraxa, get an Oath of Nissa, a Tyvar, a Rona, a Botanical. Just draw 5 cards. Game's clearly over. So that shows really, like, you know, the deck's doing what it's supposed to be doing. 4 Keenan, 2 Relic of Legends in the deck, 2 Atraxas. It's really built to have kind of this alternate ramp game plan. I can also 1 mana auto-wire his Shieldred. Game's just kind of over. We're in garbage time here. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki flips. And he plays Extinction Event. But I have the combo here, so I have infinite mana. And I can just kill him with Lair of the Hydra, even though I don't need to kill him with Lair of the Hydra. Also of note, I guess Keenan, if you have infinite mana with Keenan, you can find Atraxa. And get it into play. And if you have infinite mana and get Atraxa into play, you should be able to win the game from there with what you find from the Atraxa. I guess you can draw your whole deck, right? Because once you get Atraxa into play, then you can bounce the Atraxa, and then you can keep playing Atraxa over and over. So, okay. So attack for 18. GG. Let's look at round 2. So I think this is against another red-black deck. I think it should be favored against red-black. Not completely sure. You're playing kind of similar game plan to red-black. You're playing like a kind of a value deck, but you also have a combo that they have to respect. So I think you're just kind of playing like a similar archetype, but with much more broken cards. So opponent Thoughtseize my Tyvar. I had to mulligan to 6, so I mulligan into a bad 6-card hand. Oh, he's playing Goblin Chain Whirler, I remember. Doesn't seem very good. Oh, but maybe it's good against all these new tokens decks that people are playing. The red-white Convoke deck. So here, like, I have a few draws to try to get a Retraction Helix and win the game here. I have 2 more draws to try to get Retraction Helix. Nope, didn't get it. Well, 1 more draw. Well, I guess even if I get it here, it doesn't matter. I can't cast it on an untapped Rona. Discard Shieldred, plays Fatal Push. I have another Rona. My only real chance here is Tyvar, I believe. Plays Trespasser. Pretty dead here. Okay. So that I think was just like, I just mulligan into Oblivion and they had the Thoughtseize, so it's just a rough game all around. Let's look at game 2. I'm on the play this time. Sand seems good. Can play turn 1 Skrelv, turn 2 Rona. I think this is like the best way to go about this, because like every time you build the Rona deck, you're trying to protect your Rona, and I guess the question is, how do you protect it? Do you want to protect it with Thoughtseize? Do you want to protect it with something like Blossoming Defense? Do you want to protect it by spell pierce, right? There's so many options, but I think Skrelv is the best option of these because it just works with all your legendary synergies basically. So here I play Keenan, and I can grab Gigantha. Opponent's missing land drops, very far behind. Game's pretty much over at this point. So I can play Gigantha, and I can attack for 2. And next turn I can play this Atraxa. Plays Chain Wheeler, kills a couple creatures, but doesn't really matter. I can easily play this Atraxa using Gigantha. Gigantha gives you 4 mana for your Atraxa. With Keenan, it gives you 5 of the 7 mana you need for your Atraxa. Okay, this game's pretty much over. Probably scoops here. Okay, so going to game 3. So here I probably want to play Llanowar Elf turn 1, although he's representing Fatal Push, so maybe I want to Oath the Nissa because he's representing the Fatal Push, and make his plays less mana efficient. Okay, so Oath of Nissa. Find Plaza of Heroes. Plaza of Heroes is so good. I feel like this is going to end up being the best version of the Rona deck. Just maxing out on all the legendary synergies that you can. I drew my 4th card, which is awful. Got Rona in play. He sacks the Blood Tithe Harvester and then plays Chain Whirler to finish off the Rona. Here I can play Keenan and Llanowar Elf. Just gotta hope he can't break this up so I can play this Karn. Plays Bankbuster, so my opponent misplays here. I play Karn, he doesn't respond. This Bankbuster. So he loses a lot of value there. And I just plus the Karn to kill the token. And he attacks me instead of Karn, which is also definitely a mistake. So opponent not playing very well at all. Now all I have to do is just clean up the board, keep it clear, keep my Karn alive. Should be easy to win from there. Keenan makes your Might Stone and Weak Stone tap for 3 mana instead of just 2. Attacks me instead of Karn again is not a good play. I think here I can just get Portal to Phyrexia. Yeah, grab the Portal to Phyrexia, that should be game. So here you see really the deck, you have one of the most powerful combos in the format easily, but the likelihood of you getting that combo together and not having it broken up by your opponent is so low. Maybe 5–10% of games you actually get to do that combos. Most games are going to come down to your plan B. Once they've expended lots of resources to break up your combo, you're just going to play kind of like this mid-range, kind of mana ramping game using legendary synergies. So that was, okay, let's look at round 3. I disconnected in the second game of this match. So I'm playing against blue-black control, which I would assume is probably maybe it's good. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good or bad matchup. So I play Skrelv, kind of forces him to play the Fatal Push here, unless he has a sweeper. Just holding him 2 mana. Play Rona. Play Censor on the Rona. So now if he can deal with his Karn, he can be in good shape. And if he can play some draw spells, okay? Deals with the Karn. Doesn't look good for me. I can play the Relic, play Skrelv, tap Skrelv to play Oath the Nissa. So that shows you the real power of Relic. Super, super awesome. Plays Meat Hook Massacre, but now I can just play Karn and I should be very, very far ahead here. Play Karn, find Ezekiel's Chariot, play Elvish Mystic. Here I can Tyvar. Tyvar effectively only costs 2 because I can untap the elf and I can play a Seeker's Chariot. Find a Bankbuster with my Karn. Now I'm very, very far ahead. Plays another Meat Hook Massacre. Looks like people are just hating on the token stacks right now. So here I can bring back Rona. Find Atraxa. I should be able to cast Atraxa here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm 1 mana short. Attack with Zeke's Chariot. This game's like pretty much over. Grab Gigantha. You just get a mana advantage and just push your mana advantage. Planeswalker, it's not hard. Okay. I'm gonna skip the second game here because I disconnected. But that was actually my only loss of the league is when I disconnected. So let's go to round 4. This is a great hand. I can turn 1 elf to turn 2 Tyvar. And then I could even untap the elf to play Oath of Nissa should I decide. Okay, opponent's on blue-red. It's annoying. Kills my guy. Get Oath of Nissa. Find an elf. Play elf. Pass. So you don't know what your opponent is playing at this point. It could be like a Phoenix deck. It could be like some kind of creativity deck. Could be the Torrential Gearhulk deck. So here I'm going to play my Gigantha. Divide by 0. So it looks like it's the Torrential Gearhulk deck. And I grab a Keenan with my Tyvar. I should have enough mana for Atraxa here? I don't know. Maybe I go for Gigantha. So yeah, I think I went for Gigantha here because I don't want to get my Atraxa countered. Or maybe I could just do both. I can play Gigantha and also play Atraxa. So that's pretty sick and just shows you like the power of this plan B, your alternative game plan, which is get Atraxa into play. Play this Relic of Legends. And I'm still holding up Retraction Helix too in case anything crazy is going on over there. Plays big score. So now I'm a little bit worried. I don't know what he's going to be up to on his turn. And it looks like he's got Indomitable Creativity, but I've got the Retraction Helix, so I can bounce one of these in response. He floats red. But he just gets a World Spine Worm, so it's actually no Torrential Gearhulks, I guess. And now I have another Attraction Helix if I really need it. I can bounce this World Spine Worm, and he scoops. So that was game 1, and now game 2. So that was pretty sick. I mean, they had interaction, they had a turn 1 removal, they had a turn 3 counterspell, and I was still able to basically create such an overwhelming board advantage and interact with his infinite combo. Well, not infinite combo, but one-shot combo. This hand's pretty sick. I can turn to Relic into Oath of Nissa if he has no disruption. Okay, he kills my guy. So here I just Oath of Nissa and whiff. Oh, that really sucks. I think it's hard to whiff with Oath of Nissa in this deck, to be fair. Really just the Moxes, the Oaths, and the Retraction Helixes, I think, are what you whiff. So here, Mirrex, giving me that black mana that I really need. Plays Divide by 0. Grabs Teaching of the Archaics. I think my opponent also played kind of loose this game. Doesn't help him. So now I can do that same play I did in the other game where I get Relic of Legends, tap it for Skrelv, and then tap the Skrelv with Relic of Legends to play Oath of Nissa. Super mana efficient. Here I just find 3 lands, grab a Plaza of Heroes. And it doesn't look good for me at this point of the game. A lot of things will kill me here. Okay, he plays a Fable. It's not a creativity. But he's got this Teaching stuck in his hand. that he can't play. Okay, play Keenan, which means I can play this Karn. Plays divide by 0. And I guess didn't find anything with it. Maybe he's trying to empty his hand so he can play his teachings? I don't know. Okay, attacks me for 2. I'm mostly just, at this point I'm just worried about creativity. I just want to try to either kill him before he can creativity or stop his creativity. So I play Rona, play Karn. Rona is like kind of free if you have Relic of Legends in play to play first. Okay, opponent plays big score. Okay, he's floating 1 mana for some reason, so... Well, it's so he can do this. Makes sense. I just want to keep him on as few permanents as possible. Like, maybe this Tyvar was wrong. Maybe I should have grabbed something to stop the combo here, because I do lose to creativity here. So... I have no idea why he cycled Shark Time Food during his main phase and passed. No idea. But I just get here. I just grab Portal to Phyrexia. So I guess my opponent not really playing so well, kind of playing loose, but also Othanis is free with Rona Relic of Legends here. Yeah. So just play my Portal. It's GG. Plays Fire Impulse so you can kill my Karn. But I can just bring back the Rona now with Portal to Phyrexia. Grab Gigantha, play Gigantha. I could also, other options I could do here is I could be just like looking for Atraxa with Keenan. But I thought it was just better to just grab Gigantha. Like the lower variance play when I'm so far ahead. Okay, now I have Retraction Helix, so I just need a Mox or a Karn to go infinite. Retraction Helix also protects me from his combo. I don't find anything with Keenan. And... Chump blocks my Gigantha. Still has that Teachings in his hand. He didn't discard it to his Fable or anything. Okay, play Tyvar. And I can untap this so that I can use Keenan or use Plaza of Heroes, whatever I want to do. So now he drew his creativity, and creativity is all my stuff. But I can use Scrub to protect 1, I can use a Plaza of Heroes to protect 2, and then I can use the second Plaza of Heroes to protect 3, and then he's going to die to the Crackback. Scoops, I believe. Because I can flip this Rona. Okay, let's finish off the league. Let's go to the last match of the league. This was against Lotus Field. So, I think you should have Damping Sphere in your sideboard, and I think you'll see why through these games. I would have had such an easy time had I had Damping Sphere. Okay, so I mulligan. I believe he's kept 7, and he's on the play, so it doesn't look good. Especially since my Karn, usually Karn is like GG in this matchup, but I can't really grab the cards that I want to with Karn because I don't have them in my sideboard. I only really have the Stone Brain for this matchup. Okay, so he's got the turn 3 Lotus Field. He plays Hidden Strings. This seems loose, but maybe he thought that there was no way I could deal with his Vizier, but I can Retraction Helix the Vizier. I need to stop him from having mana, basically, to buy myself more time. Plays Board of the Pages, plays Arboreal Grazer, puts a Breeding Pool in play. So here, really the only play that I have is to use Stone Brain and to hope that I can slow him down enough with Stone Brain. If I knew his exact list, I'd be able to Stone Brain the win, but I don't know his exact list. So I picked Hidden Strings. And now that I know that his deck has Mastermind's Acquisition, that's how he wins. So I could potentially grab the Mastermind's Acquisition to win the game. He grabs another Lotus Field. Maybe I should have known here that he grabbed another Lotus Field instead of a Thespian Stage. Or maybe he's trying to play around Boseiju or something, I don't know. But here I could either Stone Brain him or get Arcane Proxy for the win. I actually think this is the right play. So I'm just forcing the win. He needs that Boseiju here. And he drew Boseiju. And maybe I should have known, since he did the Lotus Field play instead of a Thespian Stage. I should have known he had Boseiju. So that kind of sucks. But I am able to bounce my Karn with the Rona, which means I can use Karn again next turn. Plays Behold the Beyond. But I think I can just Mastermind's Acquisition here to win the game. So I play Karn, and now I can use Stone Brain again. Here, Keenan is being really, really good, giving me basically 2 extra mana each turn. And I take out his win con. But I should not have attacked with everyone because that's I forgot about he could kill me with Lair of the Hydra. If I leave all my guys back, it's going to be almost impossible for him to kill me with Lair of the Hydra, but... So that was a mistake. But it seems like he wasn't really able to do the Lair of the Hydra kill anyways. So, I don't know what his plan was, but he started bouncing my stuff. Maybe he was just confused. But basically, like, the way they can kill you from this spot is they can draw their whole deck, create a bunch of mana, then get Lair of the Hydra in play, then copy it with Thespian Stage. But, oh, I guess he can't attack me anyways, because he doesn't have a Thespian Stage that's in play. So I guess neither of those lands would have haste anyways, so yeah, now that I think of it, he can't really kill me with Lair of the Hydra this turn anyways. He can just draw his whole deck, but he can't really kill me, and so, yeah. If that's the case, then I really should not have gone for the Arcane Proxy. I shouldn't have given him that out with Boseiju. I should have just grabbed Stone Brain and named Mastermind's Acquisition. But nowadays, there's so many different kills that people play. Some people play Mastermind's Acquisition, some people kill with Chandra and don't play Masterminds, and some people kill with Peer Through Depths and don't kill with either of the other two. So you can't just necessarily blind Stone Brain them. I think, having played a lot of Lotus Field myself, if you have to use the first Stone Brain and you don't know their deck, Hidden Strings is probably the best card to grab. If they don't have Lotus Field in play, you obviously need Lotus Field. But yeah, here, I mean, it doesn't matter what I do. I don't think I can really lose here. He has to kill me with Lair of the Hydra. I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. I grab Tormod's Crypt. Okay, I'm going to Tormod's Crypt to make his Lair useless, and then I'm going to Boseiju his Omniscience and hope that's good. So, yeah, that's it. A 4-1, although the one loss I had was because I disconnected, so maybe if it would have been a 5-0. I think this is like a serious upgrade over previous versions. Let's take a quick look at the list. Like, what would I change? What would I change in this deck? I think I would cut probably like a Lair of the Hydra for a Forest or a Breeding Pool. I feel like you don't want to just have it so when they Boseiju you get no cards. Everything else in the deck looked pretty sick. You can maybe cut a Skrelv. Maybe you even want to play a third Atraxa. I don't know. Maybe that's too many. And then I would probably change some of these sideboard cards. Like, I feel like you should have Damping Sphere here, because Damping Sphere is also good against other decks. Or maybe you want to play like the 6 mana thing where like all their spells cost 2 more mana. That might also be good. So probably you want to change like a few slots in the sideboard, and you probably want to add a land that has like a basic land type in it. Otherwise, I thought this deck was really well put together, very innovative. I think definitely the direction the deck will go in is kind of this Legends direction, especially since they've just printed so much Legend stuff. Like, there's also like some rat that plays Legends from your graveyard, like the blue, green, black. Maybe that should fit in the deck. I don't know. A lot of room to explore this archetype, and already the point it's at is very strong deck. I would definitely recommend this deck. So that's it for me. I'm Luca from Learning MTG. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next video.